always searching for something, but never ourselves. And just think about that for a second. Most of your life, you've probably been looking outward, searching, chasing, wanting something, whether that's a better job, a different body, maybe more money, a relationship, or a new hobby. You believe that this something will finally make your life feel, complete, and you'll find happiness. In reality, you can line up every single achievement you've ever dreamed of, but if you're disconnected from yourself, none of it will make you happy. Eventually, we just try looking for something else again. We distract ourselves constantly, scrolling, working, consuming, comparing. We are literally looking everywhere except inward. And that is why you feel like something's missing. I want to share with you what helped me and some of the people that I've advised in the past on, how you can tackle the root of feeling unfulfilled or unhappy, whatever you want to refer to it as. And in a nutshell, it's by simply returning to the person you used to be. Not in a bad way. It's simply just being the person you were before the world has convinced you to abandon yourself. And I want to break that down step by step. So firstly, I want you to start to notice your numbing habits. Every time you feel boredom, sadness, emptiness, or stress, where do you go? What do you do? Is it your phone? Is it food? Is it work? Is it other people? Is it entertainment? Those are all just coping mechanisms. It's fine, we all use them, myself included. And in moderation, they're not actually bad. However, they don't treat the root of the problem. They just kind of mask it. Because I believe the first step is that awareness. Understanding when you avoid being alone with yourself. Don't run from that feeling. Just notice it and sit with it. Because those emotions, they're just a part of you that's been ignored. I would say majority of this has been caused by just how the world is becoming so easy to distract ourselves in, and all it really does is just decreases our attention span and just keep us glued to consuming. And because of that, it's becoming that much harder to just be. It's almost like we're forcing ourselves to always be occupied with something. So when we learn to let go of that mindless consumption and we just learn to sit there with our thoughts, I'm sure you've seen the videos on Instagram and TikTok before where people are just sitting there recording themselves doing nothing but that, just sitting there. And they've even got a timer, maybe on a separate phone or their laptop. Some have called it raw dogging for an hour. I don't believe that's the right term for it, but I'm sure you youngsters, that's what you use right now. Fair enough. But it's basically just like a meditation. We just kind of sit there for a certain amount of time, not doing anything, but just sitting with your thoughts. If something along the lines of meditation don't really sit with you, no pun intended there, start with small actions that just align with yourself. Maybe it's a little bit of journaling, just writing down your thoughts. Maybe it's going for a walk alone. Saying no to something you'd normally say yes to, even though you really don't want to. Working on something you genuinely truly care about. Fulfillment isn't found in something, groundbreaking. You don't just wake up one day and all of a sudden you're fulfilled. It's simply found in consistently choosing yourself. For number 2, I want you to reconnect with your inner voice, okay? When is the last time you actually asked yourself, what do I want? Not what you think you should want, not what looks good to others, not what's expected of you, what you genuinely want. Because you can't be happy if you're living someone else's script, now can you? That's their story. So if it looks good to them, good, I'm glad it does. But it may not look good to you, or may not feel good to you. So why are you doing it? I'm gonna need you to take a few minutes a day, just to write down, whether it's on a piece of paper or a notepad in your phone, about what you want out of today. It could be something really small, and it could be really anything that you want. You can say, today, I want to go to the gym. Today, I want to finish that project. Today, I want to go to sleep at 10 p.m. That's it. It's nothing extreme, nothing major, but just start doing the things that you actually think about, that you actually set yourself to. Because through keeping these promises to yourself, you're going to create confidence in yourself and your own word. And in that sense, you're going to start doing what you want, rather than just putting it off to the side because you feel bad or you can't be bothered. I want you to think about it. Don't judge yourself here. It could be anything, as long as it's realistic, obviously. You can't just say, today I want to fly. And eventually, you will hear your own voice again. It's going to be, very quiet at first. You're going to be thinking about 1,000 other things you could be doing, whether that's for someone else or indirectly for you, because you might just want to be thinking about sitting there just scrolling on your phone, or just going home and relaxing, rather than doing the thing that you actually want to do. But, well, that's because the world has taught you how to be, hasn't it? Taught you to always be moving, always be achieving, always be thinking. Not many things out there teach you to just stop and think about what you want. Some individuals do, I suppose, myself included, I guess. But a lot of people just want to sell you their product so you can keep consuming. But I'm going to need you to stop consuming and start doing. Just doing things for yourself, like we mentioned. Doesn't matter how big or small, as long as they're realistic. You don't just, arrive at this happiness or fulfillment. This is something that's going to be built over time through consistent effort and steps. But if you start to become connected to who you are, those steps will feel meaningful. But it begins with you slowing down, putting down the mindless consumption, and then doing things for yourself. Things that you actually want to do. Because fulfillment will never arrive if there's a complete absence of struggle. So start to reconnect with yourself, because that's where happiness really comes from. That's where fulfillment sits. And also actually spend some time with your thoughts. I know it's not going to be comfortable and it's going to be really loud at first, but you must. If you want to find out who you truly are, and you want to feel differently, and you want to feel that fulfillment in life, spend time with your own thoughts. You don't have to recreate yourself in order to get there. You just have to do things in order to return to that state. Return to that state of curiosity and happiness, and just wanting to do things in the world. Give yourself the chance to meet yourself again, because everything you're searching for is right here. And as always, I wish you best of luck, and I will see you next week. Bye bye.